Welcome back, Year 9, to your fifth lesson on your World War One module for this academic term. The driving question for today's lesson will be, how did the Allies win World War One? We have moved on from looking at whether courageous soldiers were led into battle by incompetent generals and are looking today at how the war played out and how crucial certain moments and strategies were from an Allied perspective, and are today going to be looking at the main reasons behind how the Allies were able to secure victory in the latter stages of the conflict. The first thing I would like you to do, as I have always asked, is to complete the Knowledge Organizer quiz labelled L5 Knowledge Organizer Quiz in order to recap your learning from last lesson. Please pause the video now to complete this. As you can see on the screen, I would now like you to go into L5 Resources and then watch the video entitled World War One 5 How did the Allies win World War One? Please pause this video now to do this. On the screen now we have the 5 main reasons for World War One victory from an Allied perspective. The naval blockade of Germany, so the Allied Navy blocking off the waters around Germany to prevent supplies entering into Germany in the major cities. A change of government in Germany. Technology/weapons, morale, and the United States. Then what I would like you to do is to go back into L5 Resources and watch the video entitled World War One, How Did It End? And locate the assignment entitled L5 Task Sheet and answer questions based on this video under Task 1. Please pause this video now to complete this. For your next task, I would like you to complete the table which you can see in front of you, which you can find in L5 Task Sheet under Task 2. By using the sources we are going to go through on the upcoming slides and filling in the 4 categories of source name, who said it, what was their opinion, and use a quote from the source to support your opinion. Source B has already been completed for you. It is probably easiest if you pause this video after we have gone through each source to fill in the table as we go. Source A. The British, French and American armies, aka the Allies, began their counterattack in August 1918. They attacked along a line which stretched from Belgium in the north nearly as far down as Switzerland. Source B. During these weeks of counter-offensive, we remain without anxiety, for the German front is strong and indestructible. If at certain places the enemy has been able to push forward, this is solely due to our plans, which are for more attacks. Our plans are only being interrupted for the time being. Frankfurter Zeitung, a German newspaper. Source C. The enemies made use of tanks in large numbers. They suddenly emerged from clouds of smoke. Our men were completely unnerved. Tanks broke through our front lines, causing panic which upset our battle control. When we were able to locate them, our anti-tank guns and our artillery speedily put an end to them, but damage was already done, and solely because of tanks we have suffered enormous losses. A German soldier's view on tanks. Source D. The Germans retreated to a specially constructed line of defences known as the Hindenburg Line. The German government then changed. The new Chancellor, Prince Max, approached America with an offer of peace. However, these negotiations broke down and the Germans realised that they could not continue to fight for much longer. The Commander-in-Chief of the German Armed Forces wrote to Prince Max, "We demand an immediate dispatch of a peace offer to our enemies. There no longer exists any hope of forcing peace on our enemies. The enemy will bring in new and fresh reserves. We must stop fighting to save the German people from further useless sacrifice." Source E. A member of the German government wrote, "We have no meat. Potatoes cannot be delivered because we are short of 4,000 trucks a day. Fat is unobtainable. The shortage is so great it is a mystery to me what the people of Berlin live on. The workers say, better a horrible end than an endless horror. Source F. In spite of the superiority of the enemy in men and materials, we could have brought the struggle to a victory if determined and unanimous, so altogether, cooperation had existed between the army and those at home. The German army was stabbed in the back. It is plain who we should blame. German General Hindenburg. Diamond 9. For this task, you will be asked to create a Diamond 9. Some of you may be familiar with this, others not, so I will explain. As you can see here, you have 9 boxes arranged in this diamond pattern. The aim of this activity is to place the factors going from high significance or importance at the top, going down to the least significance or least important region at the bottom. You will have to use the information on the next slide and on the task sheet to complete this, as well as explaining why you put your most and least important reasons for Allied victory where you have. You can locate this task on your task sheet under Task 3. Use this information below to fill in your Diamond 9. The United States entered the war on the Allies' side in 1917. By mid-1918, they had over 1 million troops on the Western Front. German civilians, so German people, were beginning to riot to bring an end to the war. Following the failure of their spring offensive, many German soldiers had low morale. The German Kaiser, meaning king, had abdicated. So by abdicated it means stepped down. The new government wanted peace. The British naval blockade of Germany meant that food wasn't getting into Germany. Many people were starving to death. The Allies were using new tactics which the Germans couldn't contend with. The Allies had 5,000 tanks in 1918. The Germans only had 20. The Allies had more than double the amount of aircraft compared to the Germans. 750,000 British soldiers had died by the war's end. Roughly 2 million German soldiers had died. Now we're going to have a go at answering an 8-mark exam question. For this 8-mark question, which can be located by finding the assignment labelled L5 exam question, I have helpfully provided you with this table, including your structure in the first column, what you should be arguing in each paragraph, and how to argue in each paragraph. This information is also included on the document in order to help you. So, the Allies won World War I because of the introduction of the United States in 1917. To what extent do you agree with this statement? 8 marks. So you need to provide an introduction, paragraph 1, paragraph 2, and a conclusion. In the next column, in your opinion, you need to decide whether you agree or disagree with this statement. Then for paragraph 1, if you agree with the statement, you need to say why, or if you agree, you also need to say why. For paragraph 2, you always provide your counter-argument, so you argue against what you said in paragraph 1. And then for your conclusion, you agree with what you wrote in the introduction and briefly summarize your reasons why you have got to this point. And in the third column, you have point, evidence, explain. Your point with your introduction, in my opinion, I agree/disagree with the statement because. Your evidence. The USA decided to join the fighting in World War I because. Your explain. The Allies were certainly helped by the introduction of the USA because. Paragraph 1. Point. I agree with the statement that the Allies won World War I because of the introduction of the United States in 1917. Evidence. Fresh and motivated troops, massive increases in military equipment and troops, more trading between USA and Britain. Explain. Fresh and motivated troops, massive increases in military equipment and troops, more trading between USA and Britain caused the Allies to win because. Paragraph 2. Point. I disagree with the statement that the Allies won World War I because of the introduction of the United States in 1917. Evidence: the naval blockade of Germany. Change of government in Germany. Technology and weapons. And morale caused the Allies to win World War One. Explain: the naval blockade of Germany. Change of government in Germany. Technology/weapons. Morale caused the Allies to win World War One because. And finally, in conclusion, I agree/disagree with the statement the Allies won World War One because of the introduction of the United States in 1917 because. Please pause this video now in order to give this exam question a go. In order to neatly summarize this lesson, I would now like you to head back into the material labeled L5 Resources and just simply watch the video entitled Remembrance Day: How Did World War I End? To understand the impact that the ending of the first ever World War had on millions of people's lives across Europe and globally. Please pause the video now to complete this. So, our final task for today, Year 9, will be to complete an exit ticket, which will be a very brief knowledge quiz to ensure that you have understood some of the key points from this lesson. This exit ticket can be found in L5 exit ticket and will take the same format to your knowledge organizer quiz. Well, congratulations on making it through today's lesson, Year 9. We still really do appreciate the work that a number of you are doing, and we hope that you have been keeping yourselves and your families safe during this challenging period. As usual, if you have any questions, please email your teacher, who will reply to you as and when they can. We will not be carrying on with our usual schedule for next week, as it is half term next week, so enjoy that, and we will have your next lesson ready for you on the first Monday back of your final term.